Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you tonight right here on the Big Fight Field channel for your SmackDown Live review on Friday, December 6th, 2019. This is my first ever SmackDown review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Um, Basically, the only reason I'm reviewing SmackDown this week is because I was too caught up with schoolwork last night and I did not have any time to review NXT. So, right here tonight, I'm going to be reviewing SmackDown for you guys to cover up for NXT. But, uh, what I think of SmackDown tonight, I thought it was a pretty horrible show. I'm gonna be honest. It's like Monday night. It's not worse than Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is horrible every single week, but like even though SmackDown tonight, even though we had good segments between The Miz and Bray Wyatt, which I'll get to on this show was still horrible. We're getting the New Day versus the Revival again at TLC. We saw one of the worst segments of 2019, in my opinion, and to cap it off, one of the worst finishes to a main roster television show in 2019 this year, in my opinion. Absolutely terrible television. We're going to get to all of it right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Before I start, go check out my AEW Dynamite review from this week, December 4th, 2019, as I talk about Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy getting their match confirmed for AEW Dynamite on December 18th. And listen to me talk about other matches such as Trent versus Rey Fenix, the Young Bucks and Dustin Rhodes versus the Inner Circle, and etc. So if you haven't yet, go check out the AEW Dynamite review. I'd very much appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into this SmackDown Live review. So, to start the show, they played a video clip of Daniel Bryan bringing back the Yes movement last week. And him saying, should I accept the match from The Fiend at TLC? The crowd was chanting yes. And then, Bray Wyatt pulling out Daniel Bryan's hair or beard, either, I guess. So they started off with that, but then the first segment on this show was The Miz coming out for Miz TV, and his guest was supposed to be Daniel Bryan, but because of last week, Daniel Bryan is obviously selling his attack, and is probably going to be out for maybe the remainder of 2019 in my guess. So Miz talks about Bryan bringing back the Yes movement and the Fiend pulling out Daniel Bryan's hair, and we haven't heard from Daniel Bryan since. And then he says that, Bray Wyatt and Firefly Funhouse appears on the screen first, and he's talking about the attacks of Daniel Bryan. He's got a picture of Daniel Bryan with X's on his eyes, and then Bray starts talking about Daniel Bryan. He doesn't know where he is, but he knows he's with him, meaning the Fiend. And then Miz says that Daniel Bryan is like family to the WWE Universe, and then Bray goes on to say that family is the word of the day. And he said, I used to be in a family. And they showed a picture of him, Rowan, and Luke Harper, which caught me very quick. I'm like, ooh, okay, they're talking about family. So they show the Wyatt family back in 2014, and so Bray says I used to be in a family. Now I'm alone, but I could join. Maybe I could be in another family, and he gets a framed picture of the Miz, Maurice, and his two kids. So, and then Bray says, "Do you want to come play with me now, Miz?" And Miz is getting all pissed off. He's getting out of the ring. Um, he's going backstage, and that's the segment. Um, when Bray referenced his old family, meaning Harper and Rowan, and him bringing up the Miz's family was really good in this segment. I thought I liked it a lot. It got me interested. So, I mean, it was a pretty solid. It was a pretty good um, first segment on SmackDown Live, which I could appreciate because some of the segments that like start off the show they could go downhill pretty fast. But I really like this segment a lot. This was good, and we're not done with The Miz and Bray Wyatt yet. We'll get to them later on the show, but we start going downhill after a good opening segment. We're going downhill because the first match of the night is Mandy Rose versus Alexa Bliss, and I'm immediately like, oh, I am immediately not happy. So I gotta watch Alexa Bliss wrestle. I mean, this match is pretty bad. I mean, in my opinion, the match is bad. Alexa is just her offense is atrocious, man. She's absolutely terrible in the ring, and it do, I don't even want to talk about her, to be honest. She's a baby face now, so now, all the casual fans are going to love Alexa Bliss. And, Alexa Bliss fans on Twitter, they're just the worst. They have no wrestling IQ whatsoever. They're just there to be an Alexa Bliss cheerleader and say she's the greatest woman of all time or she's the greatest women's wrestler on the roster right now. All that BS. But this match was pretty bad. I didn't really care about it. The finish was a twisted Bliss from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss defeated Mandy Rose. One spot in the match though. What was it? I remember them showing a Mandy Rose had a headlock in on Alexa Bliss, and she peeled out her eyelashes. I'm like, oh, okay, that was weird. Oh, I mean, it was okay. That spot right there, it was okay. So Alexa Bliss wins. I'm moving on, and when I said earlier that we had one of the worst segments of the year, this segment with Drake Maverick, Dana Brooke, and Elias wanted me to roll my eyes in the back of my head. And it was so cringe and cheesy and should not be on television. It should not be on a wrestling show, period. So we have Dana Brooke at catering. Drake Maverick comes up to her. He says, I heard you're going on a dinner date with Batista soon. And then they start talking and whatever. Elias comes in, starts making fun of Drake Maverick, and sings a song about Batista. So Drake Maverick's all pissed off. He's going down the ring. He says he wants to fight Elias. He's fun of making fun of, being made fun of, being mocked, his marriage being mocked, and out comes Elias with his shitty theme music, and I mean poor Drake Maverick. He's trying to fight Elias. Elias grabs his head. He has his hand on the top of Drake's head. Drake is swinging his arms back and forth. Elias swings Drake Maverick around. takes his hand, points at Drake Maverick's ass, and then he starts smacking his ass. And at this point, I'm like, oh my god, get this off my television. This does not deserve to be on a wrestling show. Get it off. So, Elias is spanking Drake Maverick's ass. And Drake Maverick is hanging off he's leaning on the middle rope. Elias comes back and he gives Drake Maverick a knee to the ass, and then Drake goes to the outside of the ring. Segment's over. This was literally one of the worst segments of 2019. You want to know how you don't get ratings? You want to know how your ratings suck and you lose viewership and you lose WWE Network subscribers? With segments like this. These segments like this are gonna draw fans away. The fans are not. If we get more segments like this, fans are gonna cancel their subscriptions. The ratings are gonna suck. They're gonna be in the toilet, and there's gonna be no viewership. It's just terrible television. It's just absolutely terrible television, and I would have rather much seen a match over this. Oh, God. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely pathetic. Moving on. Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match. Winner faces the New Day for the Smackdown Tag Team titles at TLC. We have Shorty G and Ali. We have the Lucha House Party. We have Heavy Machinery. And we have the Revival. I wasn't really paying attention to the first part of the match. All I know was that Heavy Machinery, I think it was Heavy Machinery. They eliminated the Lucha House Party first. We came back to commercial. Tucker was brawling with Scott Dawson. Otis got the hot tag, and Scott Dawson trying to give Otis punches, and he's like swerving his hips and like bulking up and all that stuff to typical Otis. He fights Scott Dawson back. Gives Scott Dawson a splash. Gives Scott Dawson Caterpillar. Dash Wilder tags in. Gives Otis a roll up. 1, 2, 3. The Revival have eliminated Heavy Machinery, and we're down to the Revival and Shorty G and Ali. They're going at it for a few minutes. Shorty G and Ali throw the Revival into the New Day, which was a nice spot. I liked it a lot. It got the New Day angry. They got off the commentary desk. They stood face to face with Shorty G and Ali. And then the Revival stood in between them, and so we got a 3-way face-off, and then they went to commercial. During the commercial, I was thinking, how awesome would it be if we got a triple threat tag team match between the Revival, Shorty G and Ali, and the New Day. Triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at TLC. I think that could be a really nice match. I thought it could be a really great match. 3-way match. All three of those tag teams have the ability to go out, put on a match in a night for the fans. But anyway, we get back to commercial. Shorty G is Ali is in the ring with Dash Wilder, and then moments later, Gable gets the hot tag, and does his clotheslines and all that stuff, and the suplex, and then puts Dash Wilder in the ankle lock. Scott Dawson is battling with Ali on the outside. Dawson throws Ali into the timekeeper's area. So Ali is done for the match, and then the rest is history. Scott Dawson gets the tag. Shatter Machine, 1, 2, 3. The Revival pin Chad Gable to become, once again, the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And it feels like for the 100th time this year, we're seeing the New Day versus the Revival for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, this time at TLC. It's glad to see WWE get creative with their tag team division, giving us the same exact match over and over and over again. It reminds me of last year when we got the New Day versus the Bar over and over again for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and they're doing the same thing with the Revival, so great. Dawson and Wilder get on mic, cut a pretty good promo. That's that. Next up, Lacey Evans versus a Enhancement Talent. I was making my dessert during this match. I didn't even watch it. I was done. It was commercial. Sasha Banks was on. Lacey Evans was in the ring. She was cutting a promo. And then she was like, "You're not a class lady. You're not a class lady." She was talking about her daughter. And Lacey gets on the microphone. She says, "I am a class lady. Don't ever talk about my daughter again, or I'll give you the women's right. She's a U.S. Marine." I really like that she brought that up. I wanted WWE to bring that up about Lacey Evans. Like, I knew she was a U.S. Marine before by listening to, like, interviews she's had, but I mean, they should have brought her up. They should have said it earlier and not waited until now. Because I feel like if she said it, like, earlier, people might have had some investment into her. Or totally invested into her. I don't know. But I like that she brought that up. So then her and Banks are staring down face to face. And Lacey Evans is pretending to give Banks the women's right, and Sasha Banks falls down and screams like a girl. And I'm like, oh god, why would they make her do that? She should just dodge out of the way, not make her fall down and scream like a girl. That's embarrassing. And then once again, the casual crowd in North Carolina starts chanting Lacey Evans. And then at the end of the segment, Lacey Evans walks up the ramp, gets attacked by Bayley. She lays out Lacey Evans, and her and Sasha stand the ones on top. Lacey Evans is lying down. It seems like we are heading for Lacey Evans versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship at TLC. And if WWE seriously thinks that us fans, I'm not talking about casual fans, I'm talking about the IWC, the Twitter wrestling community, if WWE thinks that us wrestling fans are going to cheer for Lacey Evans over Bayley at TLC, they're fools. They are complete fools, and it's going to come back right in their face. Main event, Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. It was 9:30. Roman Reigns' theme music hit, and I'm like, oh my god. No way. They cannot be giving Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler the last 30 minutes of SmackDown on Fox. And sure enough, they did. So, we get a pretty boring match. A boring main event between Dolph Ziggler and Roman Reigns. It got okay at the end. but we'll get there. Earlier in the match, Reigns dodges super kick. Reigns is giving punches. Get back from commercial. We're back in commercial. Dolph Ziggler is giving chin locks at 9:45 p.m. So that is some fast-paced action. Dolph Ziggler is sitting in the ring giving chin locks. Awesome. We have another commercial. So we had two commercials in this match. Before the second commercial, King Corbin came out on a scepter with a couple gentlemen hanging the scepter, the thing that he gets carried out onto. So they set it down, and he's watching the match from his king spot, I guess you could call it. But towards the end, Ziggler hits a zigzag. Reigns kicks out. Corbin's getting nervous. He's standing on the apron. Reigns Superman punches Corbin. Reigns dodges another super kick for a spear, which Dolph Ziggler sells the hell out of. I really appreciate it when Dolph Ziggler sells spears like that. He's amazing at selling. But Roman Reigns gives Dolph Ziggler a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins. He goes to attack Corbin. He gives him the drive-by. And then the guys that are holding the thing that Corbin sits on attacks Roman Reigns. It's literally like 8-on-1 or something like that. Of course, Roman's going to get by the scepter guys. He gives Dolph another Superman punch. He's teasing of putting Baron Corbin through the announcers table. Officials are coming out. The guys are attacking Roman Reigns once again. And then Dolph gives Reigns a super kick. He puts handcuffs on Roman Reigns. He hangs the handcuff over the ring post. And under the ring, Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin are getting something. And out of all things, they get cans of goddamn dog food. Oh my god. This ending was trash. Trash. So Ziggler and Corbin poured piles and piles of dog food onto Roman Reigns like he's literally a dog. They're rubbing it all in his hair. They're giving him punches. They're pouring more dog food. And then Corbin hits Roman Reigns with the scepter in the stomach. And that's how we go off the air with, in my opinion, one of the worst finishes to a main roster television show on 2019. Eddie was supposed to be on the Smackdown live review tonight, but he was so angry from watching this segment. He said, I don't want to say anything that would hurt my reputation because he's trying to be a pro wrestler in the future, training, being a wrestler, all that stuff. Be there to help him. Take it one day at a time, I'll be there. So he didn't want to hurt his reputation for being a pro wrestler. He didn't want to say anything that he would get in trouble for. So he was just going to keep his thoughts about that atrocious segment and about this awful show to himself. But, that's SmackDown. Besides the segment with The Miz and Bray Wyatt tonight, and I guess the Fatal 4-Way match was okay, in my opinion. The show was completely awful this week. Was it worse than Monday Night Raw? I don't think so, but it was pretty bad. Right now, we have 3 matches confirmed for TLC. we have Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a TLC match. What are they fighting over? Seriously, what are they fighting over? Is there going to be something hanging above the ladder? I don't get it. It doesn't makes zero sense to me. No sense. So we're getting Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin in a TLC match. We're getting the Revival versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And then I forgot to say this earlier, but I'll say it now. We're getting The Miz versus Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. 1-on-1 non-title. So that is very, very interesting. Before they announced this, I was going to predict that it was going to be The Fiend defending the Universal Championship against The Miz. Beat The Miz. Bryan comes back on the last episode of 2019 and challenges The Fiend to a match at the Royal Rumble. Bryan loses. Miz turns heel on Daniel Bryan, and we got a program between The Miz and Daniel Bryan after the Royal Rumble. Now, I don't really know where they're going to head with this. Now that it's just Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, non-title, I don't know where they're going to head with it. Am I upset that it's not a championship match? Yes, but I'm very interested to see where this is going. Very interested. But that is my SmackDown Live review tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel for great content on this channel. Like this video with a super kick. Please leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode of SmackDown. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins. And Sunday I will be back right here on the Big Fight Field channel with you guys for news and rumors for this week in pro wrestling. But for now, I've got nothing for you guys. Have a great night.